Thanks for tuning in to our seller interview series. Up today, we've got a dropshipping business for sale in the business niche. Created in January 2009, this business makes $2,931 per month in net profit. The listing number for this site is 46498. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. So thanks for coming on today, Byron.
Hey, Brandon. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you about your business today. Now, I'm going to go through a quick summary. The business was built in January 2009, has an average monthly revenue of $28,108 and an average monthly net profit of $2,931. Included in the sale are the domain and all site content and files, the email list, social media accounts, and standard operating procedures for maintaining the business. So, Byron, can you tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, definitely. I really didn't have much coming into this. So, come from a family of entrepreneurs and kind of had that go get 'em spirit, but was very unfamiliar with e-commerce. Kind of getting started in this, there was an opportunity that presented itself with the domain that was, back from 1999. Family member had kind of jumped into the fray, didn't work out well for him. But come 2009, there was a lot of just plug and play e-commerce platforms, and the domain was extremely appealing to me in the promotional product space. And just thought, well, hey, if you give it to me, let me have a go at it. So honestly, prior to that, had really no experience kind of stepping into this, but trial by fire and learned a lot in the process.
Okay, so the domain name itself is based around, a promotional item for businesses, or?
I mean, the domain name itself could be used potentially for other things outside the promotional space, but it worked extremely well, especially when ranking for, words that were appealing to, people looking for promotional products like marketing managers, marketing coordinators, that kind of thing.
Okay, so the business is dropshipping and e-commerce. How does it primarily make money then?
Correct. So the nature of the promotional products industry is you have suppliers, generally companies that are importing the products directly, from China. They then, as a service, imprint the products and warehouse them, and then they sell to a network of distributors, of which I was one of them, solely e-commerce. But you have a lot of people that are like multi-channel or both just direct to consumer within their region, sometimes have e-commerce presence. But for me, considering the domain name, I want to position myself to be able to reach people. So yeah, dropship. So I, purchase from, said suppliers. They do all the customization for the companies, and then they, deliver the products.
Okay, so why is it that you're deciding now to sell the business then?
Honestly, just kind of a change of pace for life. There's another opportunity with a company in my local area that's presented itself. Second kid on the way, it's just much more appealing, seeing I've been doing this now for 10 years. Honestly, just really looking for a bit of a change. A lot of still upside to it. I just want to change at this point.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. Also, congratulations on your second child as well. That's really great.
Thanks, sir.
So now, is there anything that you happen to have learned growing this business that you maybe, might apply to future businesses or future online assets?
Oh, so much so. Granted, stepping into this having, zero experience, especially with e-commerce, there's a lot of definitely skills I picked up along the way. And I think a lot of the stuff that I learned moving forward is things that maybe I didn't fully incorporate with, the current business and the site, and things I wish maybe I would have done a little bit better. A lot of that being around just better engagement with social email marketing, retargeting customers. And I can get into some of that if you're interested, as far as people that reorder and some statistics around that. So those are kind of some of the bigger takeaways. And there are things that always are kind of that carrot that's hanging out in front of me. But at this point, I really just want to change a pace. But as far as lessons I learned that, I felt have done well is, when you service the customer and you please them, they'll come back to you, and that even without sophisticated automated systems and email marketing. But that was one thing that definitely stuck out all the time. We use Yotpo for a lot of our reviews, but to just constantly see people, comment on, how well we've done customer service, a bit of a badge of pride that, I definitely can walk away with.
Yeah, no, it's always great when you can have that personal touch with the customers. I think that goes a long way in kind of building your recognition within your space. So that's really great. Now,
Yeah.
on the flip side, Byron, was there anything that you maybe have tried with this business and didn't work out, the way you had expected it to?
I really say that. There's definitely some things I wish I would have tested a little bit more. Within the promotional space, all of my customers are businesses, or the vast majority. Sometimes you get, a few of the little niche customers where it might be for like wedding parties or different like family reunions and events. But the vast majority of, the target market would be, marketing coordinators, marketing managers looking to purchase things for their business. So yeah, like in the process of doing that, you do a custom proof for people. So in learning, I probably would have tested a little bit more. We offer free proofs currently on the site, which, a lot of companies have behind a few different barriers, but we wanted to make it just up front and center. So I guess the thing I maybe regret is not testing that a little bit more, because obviously that has an impact on the bottom line and, the net profit you see, because you have to have an art team, which is outsourced, to still manage that.
I don't know, it makes sense. So now where does a majority of your traffic coming from? If these are marketing professionals and B2B, are you doing mostly ad spend or do you have some other marketing going on in social?
And that's another thing. I mean, this is like once again the carrot, and there's so many things that I'm like, oh, I should just stick with it, because all of the traffic comes in from SEO, and a lot of effort has been done, in years past, and there's a lot of potential on the horizon. I'm like, well, shoot, if I would spin up a blog, and if I were to direct more backlinks. So most of it is just positioning and just the wealth of the domain itself and a lot of the curation that goes involved with it that has kind of yielded that result. I mean, and I'd say like 20% of the revenue and the customers we have, 20% of them reorder. And that's with like zero retargeting or sending out follow-up emails. So once again, it's bittersweet, because there's things I've left on the table that I really feel, well, if I just spent more time on it, I could do X, Y, Z. But once again, I need a change of pace. So
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. But like you had mentioned, I'm sure, any potential buyers out there listening that, hear of these low hanging fruits that are just waiting to be, taken. It's, a great opportunity for anyone looking to grow this.
hopefully, and it's the thing that I'm more than happy to kind of walk through just my wish list of things that I would have taken the time to do.
So on that subject, Byron, if you were to hypothetically keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try and grow it personally?
Personally, I already have content spun up for some of my landing pages that I don't even currently have on the site. So first step, I would just finish having the bare minimum for content for some of my landing pages. Second, I'd probably spin up a blog and have very targeted and do better job at internal linking. That could definitely be a lot better than it currently is. And a blog could help a lot with that, and just kind of indicating what's important content and whatnot. And given the space, marketing coordinators, marketing managers, they're always looking for things that are both seasonally and up to date. So having a blog would be able to provide like that fresh content. And then also, I'd love to actually have like a cost of acquisition dialed in for any type of paid advertisement, which in recent years I've done very little for. So that's my top list right there.
Okay. No, it's really great to hear the potential alone that this business has. And if, someone wants to come in and just kind of put in a little bit of the sweat equity into growing this, it can really, do something amazing. So that's great. Now, on the flip side of that, what do you think are some of the biggest risks that a potential buyer should be aware of when purchasing this business?
Biggest risks. It's pretty stable. Once you can get through some of the headway, I guess the biggest risk would be just Google. If they kicked everyone off and there was no SEO, then like things would disappear. But I'm not like tooting the horn of the business, but it's relatively, there's established customer base. You could retarget to that for reorders. Once again, I guess SEO is probably its weak point if for some reason, but always been conscious of not doing anything that would undermine the integrity of the business as it appears to Google. So yeah, I guess the biggest risk is just making sure you can update and keep up with tariffs, not to get political, but yeah.
Okay. That makes total sense, especially with shipping items overseas and having custom items.
Yep.
It's not like you can return it and get
Yeah,
another one. So it's
exactly. Like there's virtually no returns in my line of work.
mhm.
And, with companies ordering, my suppliers order the product from overseas, they warehouse it, they customize it, they notify us when we have, increases in prices. So, just given the potential of reining in potential SKU count, right now there's, a couple thousand items on the site. One of the things I might do, kind of going back to a previous question, is actually trim that down significantly. Just less options, control the supplier base a little bit better.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest risk. Sorry about that answer in a roundabout way.
No, totally. Let's actually dig a little bit deeper into that. So can you explain a little bit about the weekly tasks or the weekly maintenance you're currently doing for the business?
So I have one gal who works part-time. She's a stay-at-home mom. I have another gal I pay basically just to answer phones, pay her to be interrupted basically. And then she has access to, we use Front App for just email integration, which works really well for communicating on common like email threads around both orders and proofs. So largely, the time that I do spend is just answering questions or like making decisions that they might not want to pull the trigger on if for some reason they just need to check on something with me. So the day-to-day is run primarily by that stay-at-home mom and then the phone operator.
Okay, so not really any one individual skill set that's required in order to run the business then.
I would definitely recommend anybody interested in it. It's run on the Magento platform.
Mhm.
Obviously you can hire developers and whatnot, but I'd be familiar with just product curation, and it's more anyone interested in. I would highly recommend more of a big picture mindset. Somebody who has marketing chops, somebody who can talk to developers for site integration, people that can talk to potential contractors on platforms such as Upwork for updating product details and that sort of thing. So that's more the skill set than necessarily the customer service, because you could, hire that out, which I currently do. Not to say I don't like talking to people, but it just, the owner would need to be more of somebody who understands, systems. I can do a lot more automation than I do, and someone interested in marketing. So.
Mhm. So a majority of your SEO traffic, is that coming directly from the product descriptions then, or is there some other content that you have on the site that's generating those leads?
It honestly, it's almost all coming from the category descriptions, of which I told you I still have tons of content that's not even on the site yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of kicking myself a little bit. To-do list for this next month, even as I'm preparing to sell, I at least want to set someone up and make sure the page content is best it can be, and it's there so people don't have to figure out what hasn't been put up, what has. So.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great to hear. So, Byron, are you willing to commit to a non-compete? So, meaning if you do start another online business, you'll stay out of this niche?
Totally. Yeah, that's no question. Once again, I need a change of pace. So, being a distributor in this space is definitely on the table. So.
Okay, that's perfect. And then also, how much support are you willing to offer potential buyers? Are you going with the typical 30 days email and Skype support, or did you have something in addition that you would like to add on?
Honestly, there's so much potential here. I want someone to be successful, and whatever that looks like. Obviously, I don't want to be tied to it forever, but as long as really is needed. So if that's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, honestly, whatever's needed. Like I said, I want someone to be able to take this to the next level. Someone that cares about, the niche, cares about the domain, which is super awesome domain, to be able to kind of run with this. So.
No, that's great. And I also noticed even included with the assets and the sale is some SOPs. So you already have some standard operating procedures ready to go for the new buyer if they need to, train up some of their own salespeople or call people or.
Correct. And,
Okay.
with that, stay-at-home mom that I'm using for basically our customer service face is also more than willing to help, train up people, or at least stay on until, the hat's been passed and there's a good migration policy in place. But yeah, SOP, have that. And largely that's what we use for both, bringing someone on for phone calls and then, managing the orders. So.
Okay. No, it's really great to hear. It's a valuable thing to have with your business, just knowing that it'll be that much easier for someone that, like you said, take over the hat. So it's great. So putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you feel this is a business worth buying, Byron?
There's just so much upside to it. When I really sit down, I start thinking, I almost talk myself out of it. Given the domain and the niche, there's a lot that can be done in this space. And with a lot of things that I've already mentioned, given 20% of my customers are return customers without me doing any type of follow-up. So anybody incorporating any type of automation that's available these days from so many different companies, it seems like it would be a no-brainer. Like heck, if I was coming at it for the first time, I would even consider it, obviously, because I'm still interested in what I've built. It's sometimes hard kind of letting that go. But I think just the biggest upside for potential buyers, the potential upside. There's just a lot of things that could be done a lot better than currently been doing it. I've had this for 10 years. Like, that's crazy. It just blows my mind. And, at this point, I'm comfortable. It's good enough. I think someone jumping in can take it to the next level.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's really great. And, just from laying it out, within this interview, all of the potential low-hanging fruit that are just waiting for the picking, it's really great to see. Okay, well, was there anything else you'd like to share, Byron, that I might have missed within this interview?
The low-hanging fruit. I guess one thing, I'd mention, or I didn't mention actually yet, but, for the industry, on average, if someone's looking at the numbers, well, it's seasonal, coming into fourth quarter, November, December, most companies are having, corporate parties and events, so there's not a lot of trade show and events going on. But, once we kind of get into it, there's just the average order size is really good. Happy to talk to anybody on that if they want to, chat with me. The industry average for, talking about potential, the industry average for like gross margin, I'm definitely shy of that. And that goes into some of that potential if someone's willing to just spend a little bit of time, dial up a few of the systems in place and can kind of pull that a little bit closer. So once again, more than happy to talk to anybody that would want to reach out to me a little bit more on this. I've enjoyed what I've done for the last 10 years. Wife and I have been able to travel a bit, or at least I've been able to follow her in what she's done. And yeah, I've had a really good run at this.
Yeah, no, it's really great. You can definitely see it in the numbers here as well, Byron. So that's all really awesome to see. Well, yeah, that'll wrap it up. So I really appreciate you for coming on today, Byron. And, it was a nice pleasure talking to you here and having this seller interview, and look forward to seeing the future and, your future endeavors and what they hold.
Yeah, same. Thanks for the talk, Brendan.
Yep. Thank you so much, Byron. You take care.
All right.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make a deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you will be given everything you need to review this business. Thank you and have a great day.